In this video we're going to look at how you export from Onshape, import into 2D Design and get a file ready to be laser cut, and then how to use the laser cutter. When you're drawing on Onshape, for a laser cut part you want to draw in one sketch only and in 2 dimensions only. You then tick your sketch once you're finished, so you can see, for example here, I've got a bow tie. I'm going to leave, I'm happy with it. I'm going to right click on sketch 1, I'm going to go export as DXF or DWG. Here you will most likely have DWG automatically selected if you haven't done this before, so make sure you have DXF. You change the name here to your initials or what you want to call it, as long as it's recognizable, and you make sure, again, if you've never done this before, that this box here is clicked, and then click export. Now from here, because of the permissions that you have on the computer, you need to click show in folder, and I'm just going to quickly search for NLC1, and there's my part there. And what you're going to do is you're going to drag that into a folder that you have access to. So for example, I've got pictures here. I'm then finished with Onshape, and then what you need to do, if you click the search and you click 2D, you'll be able to open up 2D Design. Now it's best to do this on either the upstairs on the green mezzanine or in the blue workshop, because those computers have all the programs that you need. You're then going to go File, Import, and this is where having it in a folder that you knew where it was is useful, because I can see it's there and I can see my parts there. I'm going to double click. When this dialog box comes up, you just want to make sure you select millimeters, and as long as you want it at a 1:1 scale, you leave the scale at 100% and you click OK. We're then going to move this part while we've got it selected, and we're going to put it near the top left, and we're going to talk about the size we have here in a second, but for the laser cutter we generally want it top left. Now the bed size on the upstairs blue workshop laser cutter is 800mm by 400mm, but you want to think about what size material you're putting in. Now most of the material is 600 by 300mm, so if we go Setup, Drawing, Layout, User Defined, and we're going to set this at 600 by 300, 600 by 300, that will give us the white space as the same size as most of the material. If you're on cardboard, that's quite often A3 or A4, so you can just select those as standard sizes. So you can see there, that is the same size as a piece of laser ply, or you can of course just measure whatever material you're putting in there and set that to size. If you've got multiple parts, then you want to think about lay planning, so you fit as many different parts in to as small a space as you can, making sure that you've got some room around those parts. So we're going to zoom in on my part now, and there's a couple of things we need to do to this. The first thing we need to do is go Edit, Explode, and we're going to go Explode one level only. That's going to allow us to select individual lines. The next thing is Onshape will keep every line you draw. So if you've drawn 2 lines, it will have multiple lines underneath. So what you need to do is go round. You saw I held there and went on the next one, so delete part of an object. And you're going to click on the line, and if there's nothing underneath, it will disappear, and then you can go Control Z and bring it back. So then you move around. So there, for example, I clicked and there was another line underneath. So I'm going to click again, and now I've got down to the bottom, so I can click Z. We need there to be only one line. Again, I clicked there, so I need to click again, Control Z, bring it back, and I'm just going to do this all the way around my shape, making sure there's no lines overlapping. If you want to avoid this step, just make sure in Onshape you're really only drawing single lines, and you're never, for example, drawing one box like this and another box like that, because you're going to have 2 lines over the top. So as you can see, this would be an example of where the 2 lines would cross because the line's hidden. So you can avoid this by making sure that doesn't happen. So then we need to change the colours. So you've got 2 colours you can use. You can use red for cutting and blue for engraving. So on my bow tie here, I'm going to highlight the lot. I'm going to make it red, and I'm going to select my 1 line there because that's a fold line on this bow tie, and I'm going to make that blue. You then need to click File, Save As, and again save this somewhere that you know what it is. So for example there. It's often good to save it as the file type. So for example, if you want 3mm laser ply, I might change this to NLC 3mm laser ply. This could be acrylic, this could be cardboard, but saving that there will really help your teacher understand what you need to do. In the next part of this video, I'll go over, once you've got your file onto the computer, how we actually laser cut it.